Look closely at Washington, D.C., and you won't see a typical city. You will find a rigid political machine, a power structure that has operated almost undisturbed for over a decade. At the top of that structure sits Mayor Muriel Bowser. For 12 straight years, her administration has maintained a consistent grip on the local government. But with Bowser stepping out of the 2026 spotlight, that massive engine is halting. The machinery suddenly has no driver, creating an immediate power vacuum. This sudden absence has triggered an intense succession battle that has reached every corner of the capital's political circles. Two distinct forces are rushing to fill the void. On one side, the political establishment is fighting to keep the old gears turning. On the other, a rising group of progressives, including figures like Janeese Lewis George, are working to replace the current system entirely. While these factions battle internally, the threat of federal interference hovers over the race, as outside lawmakers look for any opportunity to seize control of local D.C. affairs. This primary election determines the administrative control of the capital, putting the winner in a position to either protect the city's autonomy or lose it to federal oversight. To understand who actually has the advantage in 2026, we have to look past the politicians and examine the mathematical rules that govern the battleground. This bar chart shows how the old plurality voting system worked to the advantage of the establishment. Under those rules, a single, unified faction could win an election with only a minority of the total vote. Look at the opposition in this same chart. The majority of the electorate actually wants change, but because their votes are split among multiple challengers, their combined total carries no weight in the final result. Under those old mathematical rules, a progressive takeover against a well-funded machine was a structural near impossibility. In 2026, D.C. introduces ranked choice voting. This change in procedure alters how candidates must campaign and how winners are selected. This graphic displays the new selection process. Instead of picking one candidate, voters now rank multiple preferences, first, second, and third. If no single candidate secures a majority on the first count, the person with the fewest votes is eliminated. Their votes then transfer to those voters' next choices. Watch what happens to our bar chart under these new rules. The transfer mechanic allows the previously divided majority to merge into a single winning block. The entire election shifts from a simple plurality count to a strategic game where a candidate's appeal to a rival's supporters can decide the outcome. Progressive challengers are using this new math to their advantage. By forming broad coalitions, they can bypass the traditional gatekeepers, who previously relied on a divided opposition to stay in power. This system prioritizes broad consensus over a narrow base, making the path for a new guard statistically viable for the first time. The consequences of this mathematical shift extend beyond the ballot box and into the city's ability to govern itself on the national stage. Whoever masters this mathematical chess game will directly dictate how aggressively the city defends its local laws against federal overreach in the years to come. If progressives successfully leverage this math, it ends the current administration's long-standing grip on the city's direction, opening the path for a transition in how D.C. is managed. Washington, D.C. is currently serving as a laboratory for this electoral model, testing its effectiveness in one of the most scrutinized political environments in the country. Political factions nationwide are watching the results of this experiment, looking to see if this strategy can challenge established regimes in other major cities. The outcome of D.C.'s 2026 reset will be studied nationwide, as regions see if this mathematical shift can displace long-standing political structures.